Alright, so me and Nick are back with the 5:45 Red Sofa interview. Welcome, Nick.
Morning.
Just a few questions to get us back underway. So, first one, why did we start for 5:45? So, what's the main reason for starting it?
Well, it came around when we had the shop in Stoke Road, when Harry decided that it'd be nice to go for a run straight after work, just to unpack the day, have a debrief, see where we're going tomorrow, sort of thing. And one or two customers decided to join us. In fact, you were probably one of them, Ben. And then it sort of grew from there. In the first 12 months, we probably had 3 or 4, and then it grew, and we realised after a couple of months that there was real potential in that, both from a shop point of view, from a community point of view, and as usual things like this, as we've seen with the Fallen Acorn, your customers become your friends, and that's exactly what happened. So when the shop eventually closed after 7 years, a lot of those people, in fact most of those people and a lot more besides, have come with us, and that's probably our greatest achievement, I think, is sort of taking the community with us. But the short answer to your question was, it started at 5:45 when the shop closed, and it was just a simple way of debriefing the day and deciding what we wanted to do the rest of the week.
Yeah, it started pretty small, but now it's pretty big, so...
It is pretty big, yeah.
Okay, what made you start running in the first place?
Well, Kim and I both always run, but not for running's sake, but to keep fit for other sports. I was a decent runner at school. I did all the cross country, and I was a track athlete, but I was never going to set the world alight, and I didn't really enjoy it. But I like keeping fit, more vanity really. Like most young blokes, I wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. But when Harry showed potential of being a runner, all our spare time was spent following him and his sister Charlie around the country at races or training events, and the only time we could train was when they trained. So it made sense to join the athletic club, which is why when we became runners. And then obviously when the shop opened and the 5:45 took off, it's just been self-perpetuating really, and we've sort of grown to really enjoy it, and it's now our social life.
Nice. Your favourite ever race? So one you've done, favourite one? I know there's a lot, but...
Well, not as many as you might think really, but I'm very passionate about the Gosport Golden Mile because we started it, and it's local, and it does get the kids involved, and Harry was a miler, so that's always been close to my heart. I like all of the Paphos races because we always combine it with the holiday. So Kim loves the marathon over there. It's not everyone's favourite route, but she enjoys the marathon, and I like the Paphos 10k, which is my it's my itch that I've got to scratch, because I still feel that I've got unfinished business over there. Locally, I've always enjoyed, I mean, I prefer the shorter distances, and by that I mean sort of 10k's and below. I suppose locally it would be Stubbington 10k. I've always enjoyed it. I don't know what the new route's going to be like, whether it's going to meet expectations, but we'll give it a go.
Nice. Your biggest achievement running wise, or your biggest achievement in general?
Running, well, no, we'll stick with running. I think my biggest achievement was, despite not really enjoying running as a junior, I somehow was good enough to get to the trials for the Junior Olympics in 1976 at Coventry. Nice. First 2 qualified to go to the Olympics to represent GB, and I came 3rd. My dad won't thank me for saying this, but my lasting images of him walking out of the stadium calling me lots of nasty names because I hadn't qualified, and that's probably when I gave up running for quite a long time. But that was as close as I got, so that was probably my biggest running achievement.
That's good. Your favourite distance you've already specified is under 10k, so I'm guessing it's around 10k or a mile?
I really like the mile. I've got a very short attention span. I've tried marathons, I've done 7, thought I would grow to like them, and I probably could like them more if I trained more specifically and more professionally, but I like the mile. I think if you had to pin me down to a favourite distance, I'd say 5k. I really like the 5K.
And this could go back quite a long way, but favourite running shoe ever?
We've got an emotional attachment to Saucony Kinvara. I keep mentioning Harry, but they sponsored him in his early days, and they used to throw Sauconys at him like it was going out of fashion. And we got to like the Saucony Kinvara, and even though with modern technology, and I do have a few pairs of shoes with plates in, I've still yet to wear anything that actually feels so good, probably because it suits the shape of my feet, as the Saucony Kinvara.
Nice. If you could meet one person in the world, who would it be?
What, dead or alive?
Yeah, dead or alive.
Well, dead, Margaret Thatcher. Alive, just about Clint Eastwood.
Nice. If you could beat one person, again, dead or alive, in a race, who would it be?
Oh, God. In a race.
Yeah.
Well, it's never going to happen, but I'll put it out there on record that because she's running far too well, and she's probably 30 years younger than me, but Julia Roy Dessau.
Oh, Julia, race on. Your favourite beer?
Well, I'm not a huge beer drinker. I do like to be sociable. Desperado would be my go-to because it's a nice summer ale, and I do like a pint of Guinness in the winter.
Nice. Your favourite cake?
Walnut cake.
That was easy. Bucket list race?
That's a good one. Then you caught me out there. I suppose. If I were to ever be fortunate enough or silly enough to try and enter and get a place, I'd still like to, I have done the London Marathon a couple of times and hated it, but I would probably like to do it again and train properly for it and see if I can enjoy it and get that elusive time.
Nice. And what's next? What's next for you? What race?
The next we've got, so at the moment it's all about the Paphos 10K. That's that itch I've got to keep scratching until we're not going to be going there every year. Next year we'll probably be Kim as last year. Looking at the, it all depends who turns up, of course. If people like Mike Harper turn up, I'm buggered. But I could conceivably get on the podium for my age group, Vet 60. So that's the target.
And final question, 5:45. What does it mean to you?
Well, it's going to sound quite cheesy, but it's our other family really. Who would have ever seen how it would have grown and evolved? I say this to any person who joins the group or the club, because obviously you can do either. We're not overly precious about it, but I say it to anyone that I would quite happily sit down with any one of the 5:45ers for a coffee, or a chat, or a beer, because they're all just nice people. I can't put my finger on why that is, but maybe nice people attract nice people. I don't know, but it did. And I said in one of the earlier questions, it is our social life. All our friends belong to the 5:45.
Thank you very much, Nick. That's the end. Thank you and welcome back.
No, cheers, Ben. Thanks for taking the interview.
No worries.